Hello, Seeker. Welcome to your Sagittarius Taroscope. So, January. How was your birthday? Did you have a happy birthday? No? F birthdays? Okay. I'm sorry. Well, I'm happy you were born. So happy birthday. Okay. If you're new, my name is Morgane. This is the shift, the existential shift. I love saying that. Okay. What is up in the next month for my beautiful Sagittarius seekers? Show me guidance and clarity for this coming month for Sagittarius. You know all the drama that is happening for Capricorns now? In ancient astrology, Vedic astrology, for example, it's all happening in Sagittarius. I have this theory that every zodiac is originally a blueprint of, a soul blueprint of the zodiac before it. Capricorns carry the ancient spirit of Sagis, and Sagis carry an ancient spirit that is scorpionic-like. Just because of, you know, how it works with the ancient astrology versus the modern astrology. In the ancient times, some of you were Scorpio, right? Now you're a Saggy. We're all cuspers. But that's just my intuitive theory. You can quote me on that once they discover it's true or someone writes it in a book. Unless I write it in a book, and then for sure you can quote me on that. I'm shuffling. I do it a lot. I talk to fill up the void while the cards are prepping. But here's the fun part. My talk isn't gibberish. Something for you to take from it, whether you like to or not. Okay, Sagittarius. 6 cards on the table. Should I take it? Yeah, I'm going to take it. Let's... Coffee. 9 of Swords. Page of Wands, Knight of Cups, 2 of Wands, 5 of Swords, the Star. Okay. So, I see someone limping towards optimism. What does that mean? I don't know, let me figure this out. So, limping towards optimism. You're like really trying to get there, but it's painful. Because you're pushing through a lot of either Nine of Swords type of energy, either concern, worry, anxiety, things that are on your mind that you're worried about, but you're trying to keep it high vibe, optimistic, active, believing, flowing, looking forward to new opportunities, communicating with the universe, trying to receive, trying to work with it. Occasionally it keeps smacking you on the head, being like, nope. Oh, you just fixed your car? Here's a ticket for you. 6 minutes before you arrived to your parking. Yeah, it happened to me this morning. Something like that. You know, when you're doing it all. You're really, really trying, and yet something keeps pulling you down. Because here's the thing about the Star card. Hope, optimism, purity, love, dreams come true, wish fulfilled. Yeah, but what does it take to get there? This is a major arcana. This speaks of the process of what you need to actually do in order to be in that pure Zen, completely aligned with the cosmos, not just following the North Star, but actually being the North Star. It takes peeling off all your layers. It takes triggers, anger, sadness, grief, frustration, envy, fear, rage even. It takes all the feels. The Star card doesn't just become the Star card. It went through the Tower, that went through the Devil. Oh my God. Think of the people who inspire you most. The greatest stars, right? And their stories. What they had to go through to get to where they're at. Some have true horror stories. Madonna was raped with a knife to her neck on a rooftop in a building in New York. And that's just like one of many. I'm not, God forbid, saying that. I'm just giving an example on how the higher the mountain, the tougher the climb, right? Well, the purest the core, the tougher the peel. It takes ripping off our own skin. I think you went through most of it, or at least a lot of it, because you're a Saggy. You have dreams. You're an idealist. You're a creative spirit. So you have the goal in mind. Pull back your arrow. Aim with your bow. But the target isn't over there where you're aiming at. The target is right here and right here. Because you need to hold your breath, aim super accurately, really see it. Hold it tight to the very right moment. Have the exact pressure and then release. When that arrow hits that target, it's because the target was already within you. You were the target. The only way for your arrow to hit the target is by you being the target. So the arrow is by default aligned with it, energetically, physically, metaphysically, whatnot. You have to first create an energetic string, wire, cable, some sort of adapter between you and the goal, making you the goal. And that is how the arrow gets shot accurately. If you want to get to that dream, you really have to be that dream. And to be that dream, you have to not be anything else. This star is immense amount of energetic focus. Immense. It is really intense, this card. Again, it went through the Devil and the Tower, breaking down all your fears, your triggers, your mechanism, your shadow ego, your bullshit, not by denying them, but by going through them. You climbed with the devil, one floor at a time, from within the tower. You climbed with your fears, with your lies. You aligned with them, you didn't deny them. You've integrated yourself fully with who you are. And you climbed. And when you got to the top, your energy levels were so immense because you were everything that you are, without suppressing, without denial, without... The tower broke down. And with it, a lot of things in your life. And what comes out of it? The morning star. Because Lucifer, light bearer, is the morning star. Lucifer, morning star, light bearer. Because it's an archetype of purity. Yeah, what did you say? Yes, the devil is an archetype of purity. Because it is nothing but who he is, or who she is, with no apologies. It allows itself to really, really admit to its own desires, wishes, issues, anger, fear, love. How many times we lie to ourselves about what we truly love and what we truly desire, who we truly love, who we truly desire, because it doesn't fit the Hierophants in us checklist. The priest in us has a checklist of who and how we should and would and could and may not. The devil has no such thing. The way to reach this purity is through all this gunk. Oh my goodness. If you already went through it, you're nodding. So keep in mind, you're on a good path. You can have faith while you're in complete despair. You can be in complete despair of life and of yourself and of circumstance and people. And if you really go there, by default, you're out of faith. Why? Because you keep breathing. You keep getting up in the morning. It doesn't matter if you have a sour face or if you're annoyed or if you're sad. You still keep going. That is where you find out that no matter how you feel, faith is inherited in you. It's an auto mode, auto soul. Doesn't matter how deep and dark you go. Faith and hope will still be there for you, Saggy. Because that's just the nature of our existence. So feel free to lose hope, because hope will never lose you. That was at the bottom of the deck, the Hierophant. Speaking of the devil. Behind every devil there's a Hierophant. Behind every Hierophant there's a devil. They are two extremes to the same scale. Truth and lie. Five of Cups, King of Wands. You can be sad about it, and yet you're still fire. You're still operating, you're still creating, you're still doing, you're still moving. You can't be stopped, even by yourself. So try it. Take the day to sleep. fire in you, the inherited fire, will run its course, will do its thing, will tell you in the right moment, now you get up, now you apply, now you call the person, now you go to the place, now you paint, now you write, now you sing, now you do a video. The Temperance is the card of the impossible made possible, because it mixes up different materials and just make them work somehow. Creates a new matter. It's also known to be your card. Combination of water and fire, right? It's a test of faith now in January. And I don't mean a test of faith meaning I have to keep being strong, I have to keep believing, I have to keep going. No. The true test is if you have faith in faith and hope in hope, powerful enough to allow you to just let it all go. Surrender. And not let the winds of change blow you as a leaf somewhere that it wants you to be at. No, no, no. Let your core soul wake up. Because when we cover it with psychological rights and wrongs, do's and don'ts, the soul has no room. The more you talk about hope, the more hope is like, well, they don't need me. This is a time where the advice is to surrender to the fields or to the non-fields and let the spirit of hope that is within you guide the way. There's love on the table. Very deep, inspiring, mind-blowing love on this table. I don't know who this person is for you. Speak of the Hierophant and speak of the devil. It's like they heard me, so they're like, well, Hierophant, Temperance, Devil, and the Star. Who is this person for you? Someone you have deep, deep, deep feelings for. Four of Wands. This might be someone you're married to. This might be someone you would like to see yourself married to. This is someone you might be addicted to. For those of you who sometimes take metaphors too literally, a word of caution. If you have an obsession over someone, if they're not into you, do not stalk them, do not bother them. But if you have deep, strong emotions towards them, where you feel like you're losing control, and it's mutual, surrender to each other. I mean, 4 here is just like so much random events, people, stuff. Just stuff. Just life, you know. Good stuff, bad stuff, in the middle stuff. But in the middle, the process is so raw and real. There's a very strong earth sign on the table, a very strong fire sign on the table. There's an Aquarius on the table. Aqua, Taurus, Capricorn, Saggy, Aries or Leo. Some of you are learning to get over someone on a different note. You're healing through a deep desire that has really peeled some layers from you, that has really taught you a lot about yourself. And now you feel like you're free to move on to something or someone else. And some of you have already gone through that and are now entering to that someone else, to that. This cusp time between December and January, as I'm recording this, you're going to go through some sort of emotional leap. There's a strong integration work, shadow work, of balancing all of the strong feels that you have and learning how to work with them in a productive, healthy manner. The only way out is in. Into the den, into the cave of this devil, whom once you face without fear of the fear and speak to it, it will turn around and present itself to be this Hierophant. Because running away from your lies is only strengthening the lies, because it is a form of a lie. Escapism is a self-deceit. So ironically, by facing your own self-deceit, your own lies, your own games, your own manipulations, your own issues, your own addictions, your own whatever, is being extremely truthful and brave. It's like, this is who I am, whether I like it or not, whether I approve or not. And boom, you have the keys. Lechalei ha'emet, to the, what's the word? Echal. I don't know. To the chambers of truth. I just made it up in English. I'm not sure what's the actual translation from Hebrew to English. And it's interesting that we speak of angels and Lucifer Morningstar, and here we have Archangel Michael, I believe. Right, it wasn't Raphael. I think it was Archangel Michael. I think. Please correct me if I'm wrong. There's so many myths and archetypes in my head. But that was the battle, the religious battle between two angels. One was the goody tissues, One was the bad issues. I love it when it rhymes. But here, no one defeats the other. They stand next to each other, brothers in arms. And there's harmony. This might be a reconciliation between two siblings. This could be a great partnership style, good cop, bad cop. A lot of things are possible here. Before we move on to the animal spirit, anything else we can tell Saggy? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, cross watchers, intuitively guided. Guys, you know the drill, right? Four of Cups. Oh, you don't believe me? You don't believe that you can do it? Well, yes, you can. Ace of Cups. Look at what is presented to you. Like, just look at the imagery, right? This Ace of Cups being presented to this individual and them like ignoring it and looking at these 3 cups further away from them. But here it looks simple and casual, but it is very divine. This is a divine cup offered to you. But there's a resistance that has to do with lack of faith. It's not the lack of faith that I spoke of philosophically. It's just lack of faith. I encourage you to go into a lack of faith that is extremely faithful, that is of surrendering. Surrender to what is presented to you. Give it a chance. Let it be. Don't overthink it. Because 1 cup will turn into 2 cups. This might be this Knight of Cups here. This person that you're dealing with could be very creative, very inspiring, very true. There's something very naive about them that isn't naive at all. It's a naivety that carries very ancient wisdom. And they present themselves in simplicity. But it's a simplicity that worked really, really hard to be this simple. You know, gentleness requires a lot of strength. Simplicity, it's a complicated process to get to. This could be the other way around. This could be you being that to someone that is just not accepting your cup. But I think that they are actually, or you are. I'm going to do an animal spirit. I'm doing a special karmic shift and liberation extended for the new year, for the new decade. We're seeing into your generational karma, past lifetimes karma, self-made current lifetime karma, and how they all affect your love life and your career and finances. And of course, there's advice on how to release, transmute, release yourself from it. It's below in the description box. Also, you have the love extended, you and your person of interest for December, if you'd rather look at that or also want to look at that. I also have a tarot masterclass, BUNKAI. All the yummy stuff are below. Okay, now let's do this. Two fours, two fives. There's a transition of some sort, a move of some sort. Could be in habits, could be in location. It's a move that you feel that is inevitable, and you're a little bit timid about it because it requires unpleasant things of some sort, or interacting in an unpleasant way with some people. But it's very, very good. It's going to serve as a new direction. It's worth this process. This is worth this process. It will grant some sort of stability. There are also people who are looking up to you in some way for leadership, for guidance. I find that people respect me most when I say, you know, I don't know, but I feel like this and that. So don't try to put on the hat of the leader. Just lead. In simplicity, in authenticity, in sincerity. You don't have to know everything to serve inspiration and guidance. Sometimes it's not the intellectual knowledge, but the attitude that is inspiring. And the willingness to do something for something, even if you feel like you have no clue, even if you have no idea if it will work or not. Just putting it out there that you're willing to try. Four, 4, 8, 15. This is a combination in Babylonian numerology that is highly karmic and has a lot of power. Power of magic. Be conscious to the fact that your strongest manifestation comes from your deepest desires. If you want more clarity on that, I did a video, it's on my 13th element playlist called True Secrets of Manifestation. I speak a lot about shadow work. Okay. Let's do animal spirit. Messages from the animal spirit for my Sagittarius seekers. What else do they need to know now for the month of January, for the new year? Messages for this coming month, please, from the animal spirit. Beaver. Fox. Horse and snake. There's a coming of a full circle when it comes to some sort of mechanism that some of you are carrying, that the fox was in the reverse, that had to do with making shortcuts. You have learned, some of you have learned really the hard way, that shortcuts is actually making the road way longer. There may have been a certain specific lesson in regards to the price of making a shortcut and not doing things fully properly. Like the pretense that you were invincible Makes you super invincible. And I feel like the lesson is truly learned. It's a matter of understanding that freedom comes from truly existing and fully doing whatever it is that you are doing, as opposed to on the surface. Because then whatever it is that you master properly, fully, gets integrated within you and your cells and become you and gives you more energy, more power, more wisdom, more freedom. But when you touch and go, and just try to get what you can in shortcut types of means, and of course this is not for all of you, so don't jump. For those of you who need to hear it, nothing gets truly fully integrated. Nothing gets sealed within you. But you've learned that, or are about to learn that. Sagittarius, you know, it's Chiron. It's the half horse, half man. The wounded healer. But here I'm not getting a vibe of a wounded healer, I'd be honest. I'm just getting a vibe of someone whose healing comes from their sense of freedom. So you've been constantly on the, on the roller coaster of the journey to freedom. Constantly escaping situations in your life, either commitments or anything, people, situations, places, in the name of freedom. But that was just enhancing your fear. The horse spirit keeps coming up in readings recently. One second. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else to take from this. No. I'll see you in a second in your karmic shift and liberation. Thank you so much for your subscriptions, for joining the shift. I value every single existing and new seeker that is part of this shift, of this tribe. Feel free to also press the bell button next to the subscribe button if you want to also receive notifications. I love you guys. You can book a reading. It's the existentialshift.as.me. That's it. Happy New Year.